Welcome back. Play turned into panic when a shooting outside the Washington Nationals baseball stadium sent fans, players, and coaches running for cover. It happened last night in the middle of the Nationals and Padres game, prompting the game to be postponed. ABC's Elizabeth Schultz has the latest at the ballpark.
Today at Nationals Park.
And now we move forward to some baseball today.
We will resume this game in the middle of the 6th inning.
Baseball was back. A far cry from the scene that unfolded here last night. During the bottom of the 6th inning, the sound of gunfire.
8-4.
Sending players and fans running for cover.
We thought there was somebody above us with a gun, because, I mean, how are we to know?
People were looking at different places in the ballpark, and then a number of people, including ourselves, actually ran onto the field and into the dugout because some people were doing that, and that looked like the safest place to be.
Others bolting for the exits.
A couple people started running, and then as you saw more and more people running, and then we heard more shots, that's when we realized it was real.
D.C. Metro Police saying the shooting happened outside the third base gate.
The action is outside of the stadium.
An exchange of gunfire between people in two cars. 3 shot, one of them a woman attending the game, struck while she was outside the stadium. Her injury non-life-threatening.
She ran into the stadium covered in blood, which freaked out a lot of individuals.
2 of the alleged suspects who were in one of the cars later walking into a local hospital with gunshot wounds. Police saying they're known to law enforcement.
One of the vehicles has been located and is being processed by law enforcement.
One of the vehicles found last night. Law enforcement increasing security at the park today. Police believe the shooting was an isolated incident. Elizabeth Schultz, ABC News, Nationals Park.
In other news across America, a fun family day at a Texas water park turned bad when chemicals in the water began making guests sick. A lifeguard at the Six Flags Hurricane Harbor kiddie pool began to feel sick around 2:30 yesterday afternoon, followed by children and families. Children were exiting the pool with respiratory issues. By the end of the day, nearly 30 people were transported to nearby hospitals. Dozens of them refused ambulance care, receiving treatment on the scene. Officials say the chemical issue was limited to just one attraction. A large protest in downtown Miami happened outside the Freedom Tower Saturday, calling for Cuban freedom. Thousands gathered, marking the 7th straight day of protest in South Florida, with many calling on President Joe Biden to take action. This comes as conditions in Cuba continue to deteriorate as problems were made worse by the pandemic. The Freedom Tower has stood as a symbol for hope and freedom in Miami for many immigrants who once sought civilization in South Florida. Protesters yesterday also took to the water at a similar rally held at FTX Arena. There were tense moments at California's Knott's Berry Farm amusement park yesterday as a man climbed to the top of a 300-foot tall ride. Parkgoers spotted the man climbing the Supreme Scream Tower at 7:30 p.m. The ride had to be shut down as authorities tried to get the man down safely. Officials say they had no way to communicate with the man while he was on top of the tower. Eventually, he decided to come down on his own and was taken to the hospital for a mental health evaluation. Authorities are waiting on that to determine what charges will be filed against the climber. Los Angeles County residents are again required to wear masks indoors regardless of their vaccination status. The new mandate was put in place by health officials with hope to reverse the latest spike in COVID-19 cases, hospitalizations, and deaths. The rule went into effect last night as California has seen a steady rise in cases since the state fully reopened its economy on June 15th. The recent caseload is led by the highly transmissible Delta variant. For the first time since 2017, a Super Bowl champion is visiting the White House on Tuesday. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are seen here celebrating with a boat parade after winning Super Bowl 55 and will be congratulated by President Biden in person. In 2018, the then President Trump uninvited the Philadelphia Eagles because of some players protesting during the national anthem. The New England Patriots did not attend the traditional ceremony in 2019, but said it had nothing to do with politics. Earlier this year, President Biden welcomed the Los Angeles Dodgers, the 2020 World Series champions, to the White House.
And we've seen plenty of rainfall here in central Missouri the past 30 days. Coming up after the break, we're looking at a dry trend. We're going to dive into why we're going to be seeing these dry conditions for the next 7 days.